So you might get a sense of presence, you might get a tightening in the chest or just a weird sensation. You might even get corner of the eye phenomena, and that can all be created by infrasound. The difficulty is finding the source of it. So it could be naturally occurring infrasound because of the structure of the dungeon and the corridor, or because of heavy traffic locally. There could be a number of different reasons.
With Kieran's infrasound experiment set, it was time to introduce our medium David Wells and guest medium Ian Lawman to this vast building. What activity would they pick up, and would they introduce us to any of the spirits that roam Warwick Castle?
She's got a white shift and it's just covered in blood.
Okay.
She ran out of the room and didn't want to be in here ever again. It's almost as if she's summoned up the devil.
Please make your presence known. Is that him?
Lying at the heart of England, Warwick Castle may hold a special place in the nation's affections, but could medium David Wells, guest medium Ian Lawman and a team of investigators sense who or what walked the infamous Warwick Castle? David's first port of call was the Undercroft, a place that many people have experienced ghostly phenomena. Could this activity be caused by the ghost of a young girl who is thought to have been murdered and her body buried behind a wall?
When I get down here, I'm aware of a girl, of a little girl, early teens, 13, maybe 14. Right, yeah, this seems... a bit more like her. Is it? There is a name. It's kind of like Rosalie or Rosemary. You know, that kind of name with her. What she's saying to me now is something about warming their bed. You know, an expression she's using. It's kind of like they used us to warm their beds. I certainly know what that translates to.
What, so a master had relations with a...
Forced himself on her.
Not on the 13-year-old. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, she's definitely drawn me to the Sarah. She might be under the floor or behind a wall or something. He's either beaten her to death or...
Whilst pregnant?
No, there's a baby. The baby's there.
Oh, the baby's been born?
Yeah, I think the baby's born. But there's a big cover-up. Everything is like sealed up, covered up. Her demeanour's changed. She's not playful. She's just very... Her head's down. Her head's down, and she's got a white shift and it's just covered in blood, which is where I got the beating thing from.
Okay. Can you mentally ask her to maybe do something or show a sign or call out if you feel that she's here, just to give us some sort of...
Yeah, I can call out.
Yeah.
I can say, okay, if there's a spirit of a little girl who wants to communicate with us, could you please make your presence known? Could you maybe make a knocking sound, tapping sound? Touch one of us?
I could have sworn I heard when you said a knocking sound, a very dull, boom, boom, boom. Very, very faint.
Could you try again? Please make that sound louder if you can.
There's something very, very faint there. I don't know where it came from.
So was David right? Was the spirit of Rosalie trying to communicate with him? And would we encounter her later during the investigation? The dungeon was a place that has affected many visitors and guests alike. It was also a place where Kieran had set up his infrasound experiment. Was the activity experienced here scientifically based, or was there an unsettled spirit that wanted attention?
There's the obvious residuals. There's screaming and shouting in French, particularly with this French language in here as well. There's a huge din. It doesn't feel like it's this dungeon there. It's not. It doesn't feel like, you know, hot irons and the old doodahs on the old private or any of that business. It doesn't feel. It feels more actually just shackled up and left and forgotten about, and you're squirming around in your own feces and
really
a bit of A bit of an old leg of mutton thrown in now and again to keep however many were in here. And I'm sure at times it was packed.
Is there any activity in here?
I'm really drawn to these. I noticed them when I first came in, they're all over the place. You see them?
Oh, yeah.
Look, and that's what I can hear.
Okay.
That's what I can hear in my head.
The Watergate Tower has a reputation as being the most haunted place in the whole of the castle. Would David pick up on the grisly murder of Sir Fulk Greville? And would he be able to tell us if it is his ghost that is causing so much mayhem?
Is there anybody here, David?
There's definitely someone active in this building. He doesn't feel threatening. If anything, he feels hospitable, I guess, in a sense. That's the word I'd use. He feels hospitable. He's quite small, and he has it's Elizabethan, so he's got that rough, Elizabethan rough.
Somebody else tapping? I'm sorry, David.
I heard it as well.
Two at a time. Tap, tap,
It's been
tap,
happening
tap.
for the last few minutes while you've been talking. I said
From through here? From here, this area.
Do I think this one could be quite playful?
There you go.
There it is.
that was it. Yeah. Come over that one.
Come on, I know you're here. Please make your presence known. Is that him? Is that face just leapt out at me?
You're kidding?
It just sort of went
Oh.
out and in. And if that's him, I think we need to go upstairs.
Okay, let's go.
After you.
You can go first.
He's very active here. It's like he lives here. He's putting pain here, across my stomach. And I've got him lying in a bed with this part bleeding. And I think it's got something to do with money. So he's been murdered over money.
How? I was going to say, how did he get this wound? Through an illness
A knife.
Oh, right.
No, this is bleeding. It's physically open.
So he was stabbed,
Yeah, there's wounds that are physically open.
and it was to do with
And
money.
They've gone putrid. He's died of the wounds. And it's got to the point where it's red raw and it's seeping, so it's not immediate death.
So do you get an idea of who he is then, or what his job would have been?
I want to say Guy Fawkes, but no, it's not Guy Fawkes. I know it's not Guy Fawkes. I know he's got a ruffy collar. And he wasn't involved in any of that. Wasn't even around at that time, I don't think. This is 1600, around that time. I think people will feel him brushing past them. They'll maybe hear, shuffling. They might have a sense of him around, but they won't get this. I don't think they'll get this.
Who did that to him?
A servant. Seems like a servant murdered him.
Okay. It would be quite good for a seance in here as well, wouldn't it?
That'd be a really good idea.
Yeah.
And table.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll play.
Oh, that's good. We like a bit of playing, don't we? Come on then.
In the main body of the castle lies a room that has a strange history. The Kenilworth bedroom was used by the Countess of Warwick to conduct seances during the Victorian era. So frightening were these seances that the room was closed for many years. Would guest medium Ian Lawman shed more light on what might have occurred here many years ago?
Did you pick up on anything in here?
It's almost as if spiritual people was in here. Spiritual people did things in here.
In what way? What do you mean spiritual people did things?
I see a lady particularly who I feel would have